Smells good.
Good evening and welcome. Welcome to my live stream. Here we are to fight CPS and stop taking our children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and it's a warm welcome because you've embarked on a very terrible, terrible journey. You're fighting the CPS. Now, what I call CPS is the Child Protection System. It was a government entity that 1962 government passed that they would protect our children from neglect and abuse. So they told social services to form a group, staff it with social workers, and actively protect their children. And a lot of them were being abused and neglected. There's no question that does happen. It happens all the time. But what has also happened over the years is CPS has got out of hand. Now it's become a rogue entity. It's so bad, they'll take children that aren't in danger. If the children are in school, they'll take them out of school. They'll throw them into a shelter with cockroaches and rats and a beehive outside to sting the kids. And that's not good enough. They'll stick them with the juvenile prisoners that sit there with the fence and can sit there and hold hands with these poor kids. And they're put on top of each other, and they don't have a place to sleep, and the food's awful, and their idea of education is read them a storybook. That was the shelter that my children were placed in. Their first night, and they were bewildered because they were taken out of school. And my littlest one, who was 9 at the time, was spooked by all these grown adults marching around our home trying to find something wrong with it. I mean, there was 9 of them standing in my little garden out front. And it was a horrible experience for me. I did not know what I know today. I should never let them in. I should never let them take my children. And I should have got an attorney right away. Those are the mistakes that I made. I should have said no, no, no. And then I should have got an attorney. And the attorney, we would never have had to go through what we had to go through. And we'd probably be together as a family because one of my kids was told what to do about divorcing their parents. And that's a hard thing for me to swallow because every day I miss my child. I know my wife does. Luckily, she still sees her brothers. And that's something I encouraged. I've always encouraged it from day one. But CPS can be an awful thing, and I know what you guys are going through there. There was a lady that called me late last night, and she'd come from Mississippi to Oklahoma, and she had a special needs child, and they stole the child. And she was in tears because she doesn't have money. She doesn't have the father of the child. There are many stories like this. It really affects the people who are low income through no fault of their own, or they have a deadbeat spouse that doesn't want to help out with the child. If you're going to make babies, if you're going to make love and babies come as a result of it, you better be prepared to take care of them. And I know there was no life skills taught because that's one life skill that should be taught early on. We used to have life skills in high school, and I think it should be even at preschool. I think you should encounter preschool. And one of the life skills could be is don't talk to strangers. That's a real important one for little kids. But, I was watching the other day, these little kids from other countries that don't have fathers, they're stuck at the border. And we are putting them before the court, before a judge. Can you imagine a 3-year-old dealing with a judge and what he wants to do? It's wrong. It's totally wrong what's happened now. We're supposed to protect our children. Instead, we're making money off the children. It's a money thing. That's all it is. But I'm here to help you get your children back to help you stay away from CPS and to help make your family a better place. Its studies have shown the best parents are the biological parents. The parents are the ones that can make a difference in raising children. I know there are bad parents and good parents, and there's parents that need help. Parenting skills, programs for alcohol or drugs, other drugs, those kinds of things. That's all necessary. But I'm here to help you with all kinds of topics. Now, I'm on 5 days a week at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then on the weekends, I'm on at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then 7 nights a week, I'm on at 7 o'clock. Those are all Pacific time. I am broadcasting from the West Coast in Surf City, USA, 3 blocks from the ocean. And it's a pretty place where I live. And I'm very blessed to have my family still with me. Now, I'm not an attorney, but I've had a lot of experience. I've had over 15 years of fighting CPS, and I have the experience of my case to share with you. I also have 42 years of marriage experience and have helped raise 6 children. And I'm blessing that 3 of the children are grown up, have children of their own and on their own. But the CPS thing had torn the whole family apart. It's sad, but they don't talk to mom and dad. And it's really, really hard because, no matter what people do, it's something called family. So many of you told me how your family members call in about you or try to divide your family. The spouse tries to use CPS against you. The problem is we have 2 kinds of reporters. We have the mandated reporters, which are the professionals, the school teachers, the principals, the counselors, the doctors, the nurses. We have the firemen and the policemen. Anybody that works with children, they're called professionals. They are mandated by law to report any suspect of abuse or neglect. And 75% of the time they get it right. There's still 25% that still get it wrong. But the other kind of individual that calls is the lay person. This is your grandparents. This is your relatives. It can be a family member. It could be a spouse. It could be a friend next door, acquaintances, a neighbor. These kinds of people call, and it's a powerful call because they don't have to sign in writing their name or give their name or phone number or anything. They can just say, hey, that family doesn't have electricity, or hey, the family is not helping out with food or something like that. And I found out later that went on with my in-laws. We didn't find that out too much later. But what had happened to our family is every week I had to answer these ridiculous things like we didn't have electricity, our kids didn't go to school, our kids, and I'd show them their grade reports. I'd show them their back to school meetings, their parent teacher conferences. I told them about the AYSO, the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts that they're involved in. But it seemed to make a difference to the CPS workers. They were determined and they were vindictive. They hurt my wife. They hurt my children. They're bad. Not all of them are bad. And I have a person in a room. Well, that's a nice name. It's called My Beloved. Now, good evening, my beloved. I have no idea where you're from or what your case is about. Since you're the first one texting in, I'm going to put down the message about how to do text a message, okay? To text a message, such as a comment or a question, it should be pertaining to CPS. Please state your first name, your city or county, your state, and I say country. The reason why I'm saying country is because this is a worldwide live stream, so people around the world can hear this, hear and see this live stream. Now, I have people from Indonesia, Bangladesh, India, the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Libya. Then over the continent of Africa, I have Liberia, Sudan. I have the newest country, the Republic of Congo, and I have Rwanda and Mozambique, and then 2 provinces in South Africa. Then we run up to Europe, and I have England, Scotland, and Wales, and Denmark and Sweden. And then across the pond, North America, I have Canada, 4 provinces there. All 50 states, someone has called in, several people from states. I've also had the District of Columbia. Then south of the border, I've had Mexico, and then down in South America, north of Brazil, on the East Coast, I've had Grenada. I was late, my beloved, hiring my attorney. My attorney was Vincent W. Davis. Your question is, how much time do you hire an attorney? I'd say approximately a year. And doing so probably hurt the chances of getting my daughter back. If I had known what I know now, I would have hired an attorney right away. I was overwhelmed. I'm still overwhelmed about the whole case. And I should have hired an attorney at the very beginning, when I first started encountering CPS. That's when you need to talk to an attorney because, and again, it's the right kind of attorney. There's so many different attorneys out there. You have attorneys that are into, criminal law, divorce law. They're into immigration law, real estate law, accident laws. There's so many different kinds of attorney. The attorney you want. No, I did not know, my beloved. I did not know, because if I did know, I would still have my family together. You don't know because, see, no one tells you about this agency called CPS, and no one thinks the government is corrupt. Right now, we have a president that created in January Doge. It's a new government entity that's going to go through and weed out all the deadbeats in government. We have too many people that sit around at home doing nothing, that get paid by the government. We have too many people that waste money. And CPS wastes, and it's $1 trillion business. You're not supposed to make money off families and children. You're not supposed to break them apart. You're supposed to help them get back together. Something called reunification that they seem to forget. They seem to forget. But it is a real important thing to hire an attorney because I learned you do not open the door at all. If you hear a knocking at the door, unless you have a special knock arranged or a special ring arranged, you don't answer it. You don't need to. You're taught that when you're a little kid. When you're 3 or 4 years old, you don't talk to strangers. You don't open the door. Because when you open the door, it's like open up Pandora's box. Because the social worker thinks, oh, he gave me permission. I guess I can come in and look around. Oh, there's your children. Let me grab them. I don't know. Hey, Tony the Tiger. I hadn't talked to you in days, Tony the Tiger. And I forgot, Tony, where you're from. And my beloved, I don't know where you're from. But Tony, good evening to you. And I'm glad you're able to make it. But seriously, question, who could I report to information that I know regarding CPS socials in New York? Okay, you're from New York. Oswego County. I remember that Oswego County. Otsego. Now, to be specific, what if I want to report or give information that would create a change about a corrupt programs that are trafficking drugs, possibly people, children? What is the highest government they can go to that could be? It's the White House. There are 2 numbers that Doge. You go to doge.gov. They have 2 numbers, and one of the numbers you call will give you another number that gets you into the White House, that gets you right to Donald Trump. I know they work. I had one number that went to Congress. I was able to get the senator I wanted to speak to and talk to his office. I didn't talk to him because he didn't return my call, as typical senators are. But you can go to Doge. The Doge.gov is where you can go to the top. That's the top there. And right now they're investigating social services. They're checking on social services right now. And I know from firsthand experience because I'm fighting social services right now. They're so corrupt with their programs. They don't know the right hand from the left hand. And they're giving out money to the wrong people. In fact, there's a lady on Facebook who makes a lot of money on Facebook. But she also gets a lot of money from food stamps. She doesn't qualify for food stamps. There's a lot of people like that don't qualify. So that's why Doge is investigating a lot of organizations. But if you want to change something or go to Doge.gov, get the numbers, and keep calling, keep being persistent. The numbers do work. Also, become part of my family here. I'm on twice a day, as I was telling earlier. That's 14 live casts a week. I've been doing it for 18 months. I've talked to over 1,500 people, 22 countries, and 50 U.S. states. And 1,500 people have spoken to me on here. And the one thing they all have in common is they're down and out income-wise. If you have a lot of money, you can hire the best. But even the best, it's hard. I was speaking to a lady today that is a grandmother, and she wants to get permission to take her grandchildren that she's adopted. She has guardianship from Bakersfield to Oklahoma, Bakersfield, California. The case is in Monterey up north near Santa Cruz, Northern California. And just to do that and using the ICPC, the Interstate Compact for Placement of Children, will cost about $15,500. That's the retainer. So I know things are expensive. For me, I wanted to sue CPS, and I had every right to do so because the social worker committed perjury. She lied under oath. She lied so bad, and she retaliated against us as a family and forced our daughter to do what she did. Our daughter did not know the things that she was doing. She was led to believe, be as naive as she always was, into doing these things, not thinking. But that is, that was really sad. But this lawsuit I could have done, I would have to pay $50,000 retainer just to do that. And after spending, millions of dollars and lost a lot of revenue and losing a home that I worked 45 years to go for, it's really hard. It's really hard out there. So it's not only money, it's also the knowledge. That is the key. Knowledge is everything. Knowledge is everything. And the internet is full of knowledge, but you have to look at how to find that knowledge. It's very important with the placement of words when you're doing the search. It's very important there. But it's also hard when you got an agency that is so corrupt. It's like Alice in Wonderland. You've fallen in the rabbit hole. You met the Cheshire Cat, and the Cheshire Cat sends you room to go nowhere. Fighting CPS is like doing open heart surgery. You need a specialist. Somebody's trained in the areas of juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. Someone that is a fighter, a proven track record. We have somebody. That's Mr. Davis. And he gladly would take on your case. And he will. In fact, I do calls. I do calls from 8 to 10 and from 11 to 1 with people that want to hire Mr. Davis. So if you want a real attorney that's trained and experienced and is a fighter, then call me. Call me. My number will be up shortly. I forgot. I need to put in how to be a guest on my podcast, my live stream. I keep calling it a podcast. It's not a podcast. To be a guest on my live stream, please email our show producer at grace@vincentwdavis.com. That's grace@vincentwdavis.com with the day and time you want to be on the show. You just pick one of those 14 times. And that she will send you a link to get on what's called StreamYard. That's the application I use. It's a mallard duck head. It's a symbol on it called StreamYard. Now, I broadcast on YouTube, but I do that there. So to be a guest, you just grace@vincentwdavis.com. Now, I'm going to put my phone number up. So right now you can call me. I'm at 626-698-0990. And that's my direct line to my phone, and I'll gladly talk to you. Now, Tony is from New York, and he says, I went to the White House. They gave me the numbers to get out of here because of the situation I've been. Well, that's good news. You drove from New York to Washington, D.C., and knocked on the door, and they gave you the numbers. Okay. That's really good, Tony. My beloved, I think you said you're from, where did you say you're from? I forgot already. My beloved, where are you from? Tony's from New York. I still don't know where you're from, my beloved. That's a nice name. Now, Tony says, good evening. I'm glad I'm able to make it out, but seriously questions so I can report to. Now, Tony the Tiger said to report or give information that would create a change about corrupt programs or trafficking drugs. All right, I've already addressed that. Investigate and create a change so this can stop. I know this is not happening. Just in my state's the most corrupt state. Well, I've heard of different states are and so forth. I think they all are corrupt. I've already talked to, as I say, every state, and I've yet to hear. I've only had one person calling in that's a social worker. That was Carol from Maryland, and she talked for a good 40 minutes and told me about what she did. She was educated as a clinical psychiatrist, and she had 6 months of training with Maryland. But that's it so far. You're worried about going to where? Going to the feds, because I noticed that the top 5 states with the most federal funding, also the top 5 states with the most human trafficking, which begs one to wonder. Well, Trump's in office, and right now he's sending people back that illegally came into our country without due process. He sent them to one of the worst prisons in El Salvador there. He's investigating numerous government entities and firing lots of people. I think since he's been in office, over 100,000 people have been fired, and probably a lot more. He's shaking up everything. He's shaking up Harvard University. He's shaking up, all kinds of things, because our country's been stagnated. We've let so many people in. The reason why we have a case of measles as bad as we did, they're from immigrants. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to put 1 and 1 and equals 2. We eradicated measles, but we have measles back because we have an open doorway. When soon as Trump left office, Biden tore down the wall. He let the spill gates flood, and he let everybody in. So now we got this problem. But I don't think you have to worry, Tony. I ask this because I believe the fact I know all this information about my country, my state, that CPS is trying to use my child and take my child because I'm trying to do something about it. No, they hit everybody. They hit me. They hit me as soon as they got my children. For 5 years, they were after me and they got me. And I, like a fool, didn't know about them. So for 18 months, I've been bad-mouthing CPS. Not all CPS is bad, but the ones that are bad, I will emphasize it. Now, my beloved says, could you speak to Attorney Vincent? Tony says, put in, since my son was in me, he was 13 going 14. I'm targeted individually and believe after research there may be a thing called gang stalking. Also, my attorney wanted me to take a deal after I asked her. Boy, I need to know more bits of information there, Tony. Tony, Jonas Daly, California time, 6:30 for an awesome attorney visit lives. Yes, Vincent Davis at 6:30 has a live stream just like I do, and he'll talk to you at 6:30 in the morning. That is West Coast time, Pacific Standard Time. That means he'd have to get up at 5:30 for 3:30 in the morning, New York time. Tony the Tiger, to do something about my due justice, and I haven't heard from her since who I can report to justice not getting my due justice. I don't know if you're saying that your attorney was let go because of something internally. I don't know. I don't know, Tony. I don't know. There is a number actually to speak to, Vincent, too. Knowledge is everything. You're right. But it's also very dangerous because I feel that's why I'm targeted here, because I know even if I don't have visual proof, I'll explain the situation and what it is. Going on here, many would understand and see how obvious what I say is. My beloved, everyone that was a victim of sexual child abuse during foster care since about 1960, there's compensation in billions of dollars, if billions. Tony says, I'm on a limited income, but I need a lawyer like Vincent because I believe I have many lawsuits that can be put in. I don't even care about the money. I want justice and peace for my family. That Tony says they're corrupt people have messed up. And my beloved says, call. Well, you can call. My number's up, and I'll let you have the floor to talk at 626-698-0990. All you have to do is call. No, I wrote to the president through a link I found, but my daughter won't leave, and I can't leave them behind. They gave me phone numbers for victims of trafficking. My court date is in June. I'm scared. Just have your faith in God. It will come out. No, my lawyer asked her when she called me to do something about me not getting my due justice, and she went on, maybe. But I don't know if that's a court-appointed attorney, Tony. You haven't told me what kind of attorney you hired. They happen to just ignored my whole need for wanting due justice. Don't give up, Tony. You can still fight it. You can still fight it, Tony. Anyway, again, I welcome all you listeners coming in. This is a live stream. You can send me emojis like hearts and smiley faces and thumbs up. You can even send me stars. Please check below to follow me and write some reviews. And also, if you want to be notified when I'm on, check the notification. Check the notification. So we have Tony the Tiger. I shouldn't say Tony the Tiger, but Tony Tiger from New York. And we have my beloved from somewhere. I have no idea where she's from or he's from. And that's okay. I ask only because it gives me an idea where there's pockets of good CPS and bad CPS. The child protection system is corrupt. All you have to do is look at Prescott, Arizona in the year 2022. There were 8 social workers working for the Prescott um, Department of Children's Services, DCS. They decided to get some fancy pink t-shirts, not because it's breast awareness or they wanted to support breast awareness. They wanted to stencil a message on the front and back. And on the front, it says professional kidnappers. Boy, that really sends your blood curling. And on the back, they said, parents, do you know where your kids are at? And they prayed around, in Costco and Walmart and Target and Sears and Penny's and May Company. I could go on and on and on about all these department stores that they were going into and so forth. Well, they were caught and they were immediately fired by the city, as well as the director of the Department of Children's Services, or DCS. So that child protection system was cut from a staff of 9-10 to a staff of 1. And the only person left is supposed to take care of all the call-ins and all the investigations. It hurt. It hurt there because I know that children are being abused and neglected. Tony, you can't trust a court-appointed attorney or public defender. They work for CPS, first of all. They're only trained in criminal law. They don't have any background in juvenile law, family law, or dependency law. And they certainly will not fight you because their caseload is 30 or more clients. They have so many clients they don't know what to do with. So, I wouldn't put any credence to what the court-appointed attorney or defender says. And if you have to use them, I say put the fire underneath them. Tell them to work for you. Tell them if they don't perform, you'll sue them for negligence and report them to the state bar and have them debarred. That's something they always worry about. You got to make them work. If you don't like the court-appointed attorney, get a second one and a third one. Keep going to the court appointee's office in the court and keep replacing them. They may not like it, but you're entitled to someone that will fight for you. If they're not fighting for you, you need to report it. When you have a case, you need an attorney that's going to defend you and be with you. You don't need an attorney like what you're describing to me, Tony. You don't need that kind of attorney. Now, I have some other things that are going on. If you decide to call in or you be a guest, you can get a free 15-minute private consultation with my attorney, Vincent Davis, for free. 15 minutes. All you have to do is be a guest or call in, and you get that. Now, if you want to spend some money, you want more time, then I have a way where you could, well, it's gone. I don't know where it went to, but somehow it's gone. Oh, shoot. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. I found it. Okay. For $60, you can get a 30-minute Zoom consultation with Attorney Davis, care of me. I've arranged it that you get a discount. You get 30 minutes for $60. That's $2 a minute. And that's a private Zoom. All you have to do is go to this website, candidly.com/APPTSVWD/Bob Pace. And you just use your credit card, pay the $60, reserve your 30 minutes with them. And it'll do wonders for you. You just make a list of questions, prioritize them, and ask away. That's all you have to do. Now, I have a store that will help you. It's called the stand.store/attorney VWD. Don't forget to put the HTTPS://. But But the Stand store has lots of great things. In fact, the latest book out is called The Grandparents Guide to help you adopt your grandchildren. It's a step-by-step guide geared for California but work in other states. And it's excellent. I think parents like to see it too. But the Standout store has all kinds of things that you can find. Like there's 4 hours legal advice for $1,900, which is normally would be about 2,000. But there's that. There's other guides, other books, and other things there. There's a whole list of stuff at the stand.store/attorney/VWD. Okay, let's go see. We were talking about that. Let me go ahead and there's one other website that you need to see, and that's the main website. Let me put that up. It's VincentWDavis.com. It'll tell you a lot there. It'll tell you a lot. Now, tonight's Friday night, and it's really, I know a lot of people do things on Friday night, but it's hard. The whole week's gone by and so forth. But I'm here to help you. If you have any topic you want to talk about, I'll talk about it. If you want to call in, I'll let you call in. I appreciate you calling in. Now, there's another number, 888-888-6582, that's on the screen. That is the law office of Vincent W. Davis. When you call in, you reach reception. Make sure you tell them that Bob Pace sent you. And there you can speak to Mr. Davis if you want to retain him or talk to him. Right now, if you want to do LA County, he's $5,000 retainer, and he's $500 an hour. Now today, to do a transport of a guardianship of a child from Bakersfield involving Monterey up north to Oklahoma is $15,500 retainer. What a lot of people fail to realize is that he has his legal fees, but then when he goes out, he has to pay for airfare, ground transportation, hotel accommodations, and food. Those are per diem, and that's why sometimes a little bit more money and so forth. But this attorney wants to help you, and you really should consider him as one of your 3 candidates when you're shopping around for attorneys. And yes, I said 3. You should always get 3 quotes. You should deal with 3 quotes. And I've already given you the first quote for Vincent Davis. All you have to do is talk to him. And you can talk to him free for 15 minutes, or you can pay him $60 and talk to him for 30. But he'd love to be your attorney. He's a pit bull of attorney. He's also done lawsuits. When your case is closed, he'll sue them. He's won millions of dollars, both in state court and federal court. He's won millions of dollars. Now, I'm going to put the phone number back up there, so hopefully you guys will call in. It's 626-698-0990. And I'd love for you to talk in the show about your case, if how it went well, how it didn't go well, what you did wrong, what you did right. You know, I've come up with 5 rules. The rules is 1, you need to get an attorney. 2, you need to document everything. 3, you need to say no and don't let social workers take your children, and watch out the medical trafficking. 4 is how to research the internet and spend a lot of time on that. 5 is make copies of important documents such as birth certificates, driver's license, grade reports to students, etc. You know, they do come up. They do come up. Now, somehow the conversation's kind of died down, Tony the Tiger. I last saw something at 7:30, and right now it's 10 minutes later, 11 minutes later, and I haven't heard from my beloved. I haven't heard from Tony the Tiger or anybody else. Where are my family? I've not seen live in a couple days. They're usually on all the time. Margaret was on this morning. Betty Jo was on the other day, and so my face looks too red. I think it's the lighting, Betty Jo, if you ever see that. But yeah, I can sort of see my face is kind of red. I'm blonde hair and live at the beach. Maybe I get too much sun. I'm glad you're here, my beloved. I just would love something that you could ask me to talk about, or, you know, I don't want to, it's not about me talking or about my case. My case is horrible. I mean, it's so sad, especially when they retaliated and made my daughter divorce her mom and dad. Emancipate. Stay in California, at 12 years old, you can emancipate from your parents. I don't think 12-year-olds know what to do about a lot of legal matters, especially to change your name. She changed her name completely. We had a beautiful middle name, Hanalei. It's a paradise over in Kauai. And then she sealed her birth certificate and got a second Social Security card, and she was double dipping from my retirement. You see, you know, when you work, some of your money after it's taxed is put into Social Security to help run the government. And you don't get to keep the interest on that money. The government makes the money, and they should not. You should have interest on that money. That money should be having interest. So when you do get the money, you should be able to choose either get it once or go there. Oh, great. We got a phone call. 816 is area code. Good evening. And this is Bob Pace at Livestream with the law office of Vincent W. Davis. How can I help you?
Hello. Yes. Greetings from Kansas City.
Okay.
I am calling.
Which Kansas City? There's Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas.
Yes.
Which one?
I appreciate it. Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
Jackson County.
Right. Okay. I about know where that is. And how can I help you?
Yes. I have been, first foremost, I'm retired Navy, Master at Arms,
okay.
First class.
All right.
No criminal record, anything. Long story short, CPS, went through battles with CPS. They removed father's rights, and my daughter is not reported as being accounted for, alive, nor the foster person, of which I was instructed to contact the last CPS known peoples in here in Casey for Lee Summit PD to go do their works. And when I call that phone number, it's mailbox message full, and so there's no way to get to my daughter currently, other than hiring Vincent, which I've sent a few texts back and forth thereof, but have not hired a retainer for that.
Okay.
As things happen with CPS.
What is your first name again? What is your first name again?
My name is Travis.
Travis. Okay, yeah, Travis. First of all, I want to thank for your service in the military. The military is a hard job. It's a lot of sacrifices, and I know it quite well. But I want to thank you for what you did in the military. Secondly, if your daughter is missing and no one can tell you where she is or answer or play funny games, what you need to do is do 911 and say, my daughter's missing. Now, the reason why I say 911,
I've done all that.
Okay, I understand that. I understand that, but I understand that, but I'm trying to tell that
a situation
right.
Where it's no less than government subsidized human trafficking, and no less than I am safe in my room, just focusing on me and myself.
I understand that, but the thing is, we have people in this room that are listening, and so when I say this, I want people to know that 911 is better than calling CPS or the police first, because the police are corrupt. CPS is corrupt. Not all, but there's enough of them that are corrupt, and they'll lose the records and stuff. 911 is an independent agency, and things don't get lost there.
Right.
So
all of the city metropolitan police have been called, responded to. So this has went all the way up to Amnesty at POTUS a couple of times now. So I'm safe, and I just am.
But your daughter isn't safe. Your daughter is not safe. Yeah,
I don't know her. She was last seen in a photo of Facebook in the autumn leaves of last year.
How old is your daughter? How old is your daughter?
She's 10 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Last seen with subcontractor of CPS in Blue Springs, Missouri, as the CPS subcontractor drove off high, visibly odor of marijuana high, visibly twice high.
Okay.
As I reached out to the foster person, got no answer. So.
Have you heard about Doge?
Say again?
Have you heard about Doge? DODGE.
I'm familiar with, yeah.
Yeah, it's a new government agency that was started in January by the new president. And it's a government agency that's going through all the government right now, weeding out all the dead beats, the people that don't do their job or whatever the case is, and all the money. And they are investigating right now social services, which CPS is a part of. And what they've done is, if you go to doge.gov, that website, there are two numbers.
Beautiful.
It's 202 is the area code. It's the White House. And there are two numbers that they give. You can call them, and they'll give you another number that'll take you to someone that will help you. Now, if you really want to go to the top dog, that's where you could go. If you tried the governor, have you tried the capital of Kansas City, Missouri?
Actually, I did contact Jefferson City just recently.
Is that the capital of Missouri? Yeah. Is that the capital?
It's correct, yes.
Right. If you contact the civil rights coordinator there at the Capitol.
No,
That's who you need to talk to. It's called the Civil Rights Coordinator. And they, in turn, will help you. So,
all right.
You know, I think if you go to the Civil Rights Coordinator, they're responsible for the CPS systems in the state. Every state will have counties, and every county will have a CPS. So you may have 500 or 1,000 counties. I don't know how many counties are in Missouri.
Yeah.
And then
I had moved to Kansas area, over to the Kansas side for a safer area to Lenexa, and they lied essentially about ICPC as I moved immediately back over to Jackson County side, living out of my vehicle at the time. To see my daughter weekly, and
right,
and then,
right.
So Doge,
DGE.gov.
DODGE.gov, and then just go under subheaders. I'll figure it out from there.
Well, they'll give you two numbers for the White House, and it's just like I've called. I've also called the Capitol because I wanted to speak to certain senators. There's a number that works for the Capitol too. You get right in to speak to a live person at Congress, and they'll put you in touch with a senator. I can't get the senator to return my phone call, but at least I didn't have to go the long route, you know what I'm trying to say. And I think, you know, sometimes going to the top dog of anything is better to go to. I used to work with the CEO of Bank of America directly because my bank is Bank of America, and Ken Lewis was the CEO at that time. He's not now, but he asked me for input about the banking services, and we used to email things. So sometimes CEOs like to know those kinds of things. Now, the guy that is in charge of Doge or doing a lot of the things, he may not be there much longer, is Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk is supposedly the richest person around, and why would he do this job? I mean, there's lots of reasons. I mean, you know, he wants to help.
Yeah.
And I know that the tactics that they're using, or maybe strong-arm tactics, are not good, but, you know, all I know is that Trump is trying to rid us of all the people that came walking into the border that brought with them not only crime, but brought the measles. People don't realize where the measles came from. They came from the people that are from third world that don't have vaccinations. You know, we have so many.
There's a storm coming. What storm, Mr. Trump? There's a storm coming. You'll find out.
Yeah. But
something like that.
I know that you're frustrated about a lot of things here. Now, I have some people in my room that said some comments. Crystal Salazar, it's good to see you again. The second website shows a link of SEC bonds that the courts take out on every child. They aren't bail bonds. Huh. That's interesting, Crystal. Crystal says...
if I may just impart a temporary number that I'm utilizing for comedy, like just alchemizing this into comedy, but for business or text or whoever wrote that comment of a way to, you know, to extrapolate that or expand on, the number is 816-270-9004 is a temporary number.
Okay.
On the comedy page. Voiceovers Veteran on Instagram, but yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Well, yeah. Anyway, this Crystal's been on the show a long time. I've known her for over a year, and as I say, I have regular people that come in here. They're like family. But
awesome.
So she's
Crystal, thank you.
Yeah, she has things there. She also suggests you could do a constitutional challenge. Wow. Constitutional challenge. Maybe there is a way you can do something like that.
I'm all about it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Official challenge solution based as a mantra here.
Right. And the Crystal also said, my son's juvie case has 10,000 bonds on his. And I have no idea what the security bonds are that the courts take out on every child. I don't know about these security bonds.
That would be immensely helpful and interesting to find out thereof, as the things that I've seen and witnessed are just, you know the antics.
Right. Well, Crystal says that you could talk to her and here's her info. She's going to have her info come up. Are you watching my live stream?
I am. Right. Where is it?
The reason why I'm saying she's going to share you a website. So.
Okay, I don't know if it's caught up to. Okay. Yeah, I'm tuned in live.
Right. She says have him contact me. I haven't seen the SEC website, Crystal. Are you putting it up in your chat? So that it's Tyler, right? Is your first name Tyler, or did I lose you?
As far as who are you asking that?
You. I'm sorry. Is your first name Tyler, or I forgot already?
Travis. Travis.
Yeah. What is it again?
Yeah. Travis. Yeah.
Abbott?
Travis.
Oh, Travis. Travis. I'm so sorry. Travis. Okay. Crystal, Travis. It's showing up on your end, Crystal, but it's not showing on my end. So I don't know. Crystal, boy.
Yeah, I'm getting a lag there on the live stream, and don't see currently where to tap into with the chat. But
yeah. You're on Facebook, and you're on the YouTube. The YouTube channel, by the way, is called CPS Defensive Attorney Vince Davis. That's the YouTube channel. And Crystal says it shows up on her end, but I don't see it. Oh, I don't see it, Crystal. Crystal, text it to me at 626-698-0990, and I can put it up on the channel. Text me the link, Crystal, 626-698-0990.
So, just in the interim here, I'd like to impart that as a U.S. Navy veteran, have been targeted here on home soil, but I am safe. Thank you to Amnesty. I'm safe, and
well, that is good because there's
overseers and things like that. Just focusing about my way. Not concerning myself with anything, but me to my daughter.
Did you hear about 2 days ago about a Navy veteran that they handcuffed him and was taking his 4-month-old breastfeeding child from his wife? It was in Virginia. It was in Virginia, a Navy veteran. And
1 mile duty stations,
it was really bad. It's really bad, that case. I saw the cam video footage. I mean, all the time. The child protection, what is it called? The Department of Children and Family Services in L.A. County has just settled a $4 million lawsuit they have to pay. It's terrible what they do, but they have the money.
Yeah.
It's $1 trillion business, as CPS is, so they have the money.
Yeah.
They have the money. It's not billions. It's not millions.
Corporate cheating, an explosive went off 30 yards from my car.
CPS is making more money than Elon Musk. Musk is in the billions, but trillions is unthink of. I just can't think of $1 trillion. I wouldn't know what to do with $1 trillion, except try to give everybody $100 bills I saw.
Right. So currently I'm just doing my car's up for tow and all this stuff. I'm just transmuting this into comedy on Instagram, voiceovers, plural, voiceovers veteran.
Okay, Travis.
A myriad of comedy characters through the night. And so the Cash App or Venmo and stuff is on there. I currently don't have funds to retain Vincent. But
Understood.
I am working currently towards vocals in the studio.
Right.
Singing and myriad of projects. Doing NLP hypnosis for survivors.
Right. Hold on one second, Travis. My number again is 626-698-0990, Crystal. If you could text it to me, what you're trying to give to Travis. And welcome, Cruel. Cruel is Felicia from Ventura, California. Her brother is a U.S. Navy chief, and he is committing elder abuse on her mom. So the chief has gone bad. So I'm not trying to say that all Navy veterans are good or bad, but she says her brother is a U.S. Navy chief, and he's committing elder abuse on her mom. Cruel lives with her mom, and now they're trying to steal their home.
Oh, man.
It's really bad. I mean, some of the stories on here, I hear some bad ones. Now, Crystal just text me, so let me see if I have it here. Hold on one second. I need to go to my...
I'm currently enrolled for an upcoming NLP hypnosis phase 2 and taking it to all-star level. As this current situation, NLP hypnosis is performed on behalf of the situation here, and I'm currently assisting others NLP hypnosis on YouTube, Instagram, and different platforms.
Okay.
And alchemizing into comedy of all of this.
All right. Crystal has given me actually her phone number, so I'm going to give it to you. But I'm going to text it to you, okay? I'm going to text it to you. Hold on one second. I got to copy it. Okay, and now I have to find your number. Hold on one second. Let me see what you are. Is your area code 323?
No, it's 816.
816. Okay, where is 816? Hold on.
4455.
No, you don't have to go. I gotta find it. 817. But that's yesterday. Hold on. I gotta find it. Why is Oh, I know why. I'm talking to you. I'm sorry. I'm not too brilliant. I don't know if I can.
Take your time.
I see the number, but I can't text it until after you hang up. I don't think I can talk and text at the same time to somebody.
All right.
So as soon as you hang up,
well then I'll just
as soon as you hang up,
the room here. Okay. I'll hang up here and I'll switch over to veterans voiceovers on Instagram to translate into comedy voiceovers.
Well, thank you, Travis, thank you for calling in. But you're free to call me. Crystal says I can say it out loud. Wow. Hold on a second here. I'm trying to let me see here. Okay. Her number is 806-236-2506. 806-236-2506, and that's Crystal Salazar. 2506. And it's area code 806.
Okay, so one more time with the phone number, please.
806-236-2506.
Okay.
She wants to stop the funding. She wants to stop the funding.
Oh my goodness, thank you. Oh gosh, thank you.
So I just realized my
without working for it.
Yeah.
So, I'll do comedy creations on the Instagram. There,
Okay.
Veterans voiceovers.
I just looked at the time. It's 8:00, And I'm sad to say that my live stream's over, but I'll be on again tomorrow morning. It's the weekend. So remember, Saturday and Sunday, I'm on at 8 o'clock in the morning, Pacific Standard Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I want to thank you, Travis, for calling in. And again, thank you for your service as a veteran. Thank you, Crystal Salazar, for coming in and sharing and helping. And I'm so sorry about your case so much. I want to thank also Cruel, who is Felicia. And thank you for your input and coming back as part of the family. I want to thank also my beloved. I never did find out where you're from, but I'm glad that you made the comments. Tony the Tiger from New York. I really appreciate your input and what was going on with your case. And I know that is hard. And so let me see. Anybody else I have in here? I think that was pretty much it. So thank you all for the emojis and for your support in helping out one another. But remember, don't give up. Keep fighting to get your child back. God bless you. And this is Bob Pace signing off.